Hi guys, so today Spellbinders has launched several of their new collections for July. Very much a Christmas in July feel, so these items were sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'd make a small commission if you were purchased items to those links. So I'm going to start with the Trim the Tree collection. Super cute, very classic. There's a set of dies that has a little tree. There's also the Glimmer foil plates and then a stencil. So let me open up these little guys and we'll take a peek. So this is really the basis of the collection, I would say. So we have our outer die. Let me get a little closer here. So we have that outer die, and then we have the inlay. Sorry, so of course you could always use this by itself, and I'll talk about that in a minute with some of the other items that are in the collection. So we have those guys. And this is only an inlay, it doesn't cut on its own, so you can put this inside of this. Or I guess if you wanted to cut into a card like the shape of a tree, and then have these little recesses cut out, you can definitely do that. We have the little star, so we have the outline, and then we have, oh, that's so sweet. So this little middle piece is like an impression. So if you want to use that, you can definitely use that, or you can leave that out. And then we have little decorations. We have little ornaments and circles and stars. And it cuts out plenty at once, so that's always great. So that's the Oh Christmas Tree set. And then we have the Shining Christmas Tree, which is this part, and this again are Glimmer foils, plates. And there are a few things in this set here. So you have the foil plate that if you were to cut this out and then foil this into it, you would have that cute design. Of course, my samples look a little different than when you would receive. You receive your dies on a carrier that has some inspiration on there, or an image maybe of a card or something. But so you can glimmer that onto this little guy. And then they have the die to cut the words Merry Christmas. So let's say you just wanted that part, and so you can just foil in that area. You don't have to foil the rest of it, just put your foil here. And then when you're done, you can use the die, of course, to cut that out. So that's really sweet, more versatile that way. And then we have Wishing You a. And, oh, how cute. I didn't notice this one. The little star, so we have the foil plate, and then you can cut it out with this guy if you would like. Really, really sweet. And then what makes this one super unique, I think, is that it also has a layered Christmas tree. Well, it's called layered Christmas tree stencil that you can pick up. And you can put this right on the base of a card. Like, let's say you stenciled this in like a light green, and then this like a darker green, and maybe the little ornaments, you know, in like whatever color you like, or maybe some gesso, or, well, I guess probably not gesso because it's just white, but let's say some glitter, whatever it is, whatever paste you like, you can put it through there. And then you could also have built up the background before of those things. So we have this kind of like a snow background. And there's lots of fun little things in here. There's like for the little star. I got something in my throat. So you have number 1 and number 2. So with the star, you would use something lighter than the darker. This also has a number 1 and number 2, so you know the steps, which is basically what I had mentioned, and number 3 being the decoration on top. But of course, if you want to do this whole background, or you could have done that, and then as you look through the stencil, just stencil around where your tree is, because you can see right through this. So here's kind of a shot of what that might look like. So these are 2 separate things. So for today's video, I want to do something kind of fun. It kind of reminds me of like when I was a kid and we would make little ornaments and things out of felt, like at Sunday school and stuff like that. So I'm going to put this away for right now. We are going to use these dies. I may or may not use this inlay because it's very delicate and I want to cut felt, so I'm not sure if the felt will react the best to that one, but we might try it. So I'm going to put these to the side. We are going to use these in just a minute. I'm going to open up my stencil and grab something to get a little bit messy on, and I'll be right back. So, you know, I love my Spellbinders paper mat, and I use it and use it and use it until I can't use it anymore. So each page has several projects on there that I had gotten messy with. So I have the little snowflake background, and I have a piece of paper here that's going to just mat over my card base. And I'm just going to cut, or I did cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. If you want to cut things after you do like your fun, you know, mixed media type things, you can definitely do that. It's usually what I do, but this time I just went ahead and cut it down to begin with. So I'm going to put it this way just because it fits in the camera better. So it doesn't matter, it's just falling snow. It looks the same either way. And I'm not going to tape this down or anything like that. I'm just going to hold it because I love danger. So I'm going to put that down. And then I have some Liquitex super heavy gesso. I just thought this would be fun. And it is white, so it's going to show up on this. But on top of that, I'm going to sprinkle right away some of this semi-translucent sparkle, very fine glitter that I have a huge jar of that I need to use. So let's get that. And then whatever, these are all from like the Dollar Tree. I'll use this one. Let me mix this a little bit. And you don't need very much of this. And you can also just do this with like glue or anything else that you think is going to be sticky to hold on to that glitter. So I'm just going to place some of this. And I'm starting with this because this is going to take a minute to dry. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole card, but at least the very top part, right? Yeah. And then I'm just going to put the rest in here. It's funny, I was wondering how am I going to sprinkle the glitter and get it back in its thing, but I can sprinkle it around here, but I'm going to sprinkle it onto the top of the card. Oh, that is so cute. I'm going to go put this in some water really quickly, but look how pretty that is already. Gesso stays wet for a good while, so I'm not super like, need to come right in here with the glitter, so I'm going to go wash this off and I'll be right back. So I'm just going to pick that up. Clean off the little sides. Wipe my hands here. And there's some on here, but I'm just going to leave it there and not... Actually, I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to put this to the side a little bit. I'm going to work over here on my card base, and then hopefully... Probably not the best idea, but that's okay. I'm just going to take a bunch of this glitter and pour it right on here. And... So now we have a really nice white coat because of the gesso. Oh. And now it has a little, hope you can see that, the little shimmer to it. Okay, I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. In the meantime, I cut one other piece of paper. I'm going to put this on here. You might wonder why I put the glitter onto my card. So all I did was pick this up, and maybe I should have shown that. Just pick it up and funnel it right back into the jar. Real easy. So that's that. Of course, this is still wet, so I'm just going to glue this down. So when I come back, you know, when we're ready for this, this will be glued down, and I'll just glue this down on top of that. The little red. So cute. Just a little something. I'm not really hitting it yet until it starts drying, knowing that it's going to hold on to the glitter. Then I'll really hit the back of the paper to get rid of like the little glitters that are just here and there. But for now, I'm going to leave them on there. So for the tree, I have some little pieces of felt that I already brought out. So this makes like 12 at once, so I think I'm just going to run it through like this. I just eyeballed what I might need. I guess I could run it through like this and have 24 if I wanted, but I think 12 is probably good enough. And then I have this piece of gold lame kind of felt that came in the same set of this felt. And I'm just going to cut out the little star with that. I don't think I'm going to do the impression because I don't know that it would make a difference on this kind of felt, so I'm just going to cut that out. Now, whenever we use felt, I've always said if you can... it depends on your machine. So if your machine just has enough pressure, your die cutting machine, it'll cut through it no problem. You might have to cut into your metal shim of your machine if your machine has a metal shim, and most machines do. Some, it just has enough pressure that it's going to cut anyway, so no worries there. I'm trying to think if I want to do dark green and then light green, or light green and dark green. That's a good question. I suppose I'm going to cut either one out anyway. We have to cut this shape out of both of them. So I'm going to cut both of them with this shape, and then I'll kind of decide if I want the light or the dark on top. Normally I run these through together, but I think for this one it's best if I cut the shape first and then just use this when I'm ready for it. So I will be right back. Okay guys, and I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning, we're making an ornament that's going to go on their card, and that way your recipient can use it. And I think that's sweet. So we have these pieces, and I just want to show you sometimes they're really in there, and you can hear that. Cute. So let me see. Let me pop out some of these little guys, just to kind of have an idea of what that would look like with the light green on top. Yeah, we gotta go light green, don't we? Okay, so I am going to put that to the side, and here's our little star. Oh my gosh. So cute. Okay, I have my little pieces. And so I'm going to run this back through with just this. Again, it's very delicate, so I'm going to make sure it really cuts through. And maybe even while it's on here, I'll poke out the little recesses, but I'll be right back. Okay, so I can see, I mean, it cut all the way through. Look at that. But again, they're very fine pieces, so well, let's move this to the side and just start poking out the little pieces. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to have this cute little tree ornament. I think it's really adorable, so I will be right back. Okay guys, that didn't take too long. But the reason that works so well too is because this is a stiff felt. Sometimes when you get felt, it's very floppy, which is really nice because it has a nice feel for certain projects, but for this one you definitely want to use like a stiff felt. And I actually used my tweezers here to kind of help me pull out some of the pieces from the back, and that worked really well too. Okay, so before I glue things down, I'm going to make a piece, a little hanger in the back, and I'm just going to use a piece of twine here. So I'm just going to take some of this dark green and just cut like a little patch. That's going to help me. This might still be a little too big, we'll see. Let's just make sure that's lined up the right way. Yep. So on the back of this, I'm just going to use the little patch to help me glue on this kind of thing. And maybe I'll go that way. Yeah, well, a little bit higher up, so I'm just going to cut this a little smaller. Okay, and I'm going to glue this down first because I know I'm using this clear tacky glue gel. Actually, I found that at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. And it's going to take a second to dry, so I'm just going to start with this, putting it on the back already. And just putting in a little piece of twine. That's going to help you hang your little ornament later, so I'm just going to put that down. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to put this napkin down just because this glue is still a little bit wet and I don't want that to stick to my surface here. And I did notice that it kind of came through, so I'm going to use this instead, this craft tacky glue. Any craft like Aleene's, but like the regular white Aleene's, anything super sticky will work with this. And so I'm going to go and carefully just make sure we're on the right side. Okay, let's make sure this is going. And I'm just going to take that little precision tip and just go around. You know, it's felt, so felt really doesn't need a whole lot of glue. Like I'm going to put, obviously I'm going to put the glue. What I'm trying to say is it tends to cling to itself anyway because it's felt. So I'm going to put this glue wherever I have larger areas to do that, and I'll be right back. That's good right there. I'm just going to pop that on. And just give that a second to set up. In the meantime, I'll pop out my little ornament pieces. The little ornaments here. And actually, let's go ahead and glue this down while we're... Oh, how cute! So I'm going to fill this up with glue since... There it is. And I'm going to pop these little guys out and I'll be right back. And we're ready for our little decorations. So cute. Again, we have the little stars too. But I'm just going to stick with the little red ornaments. And I'm going to put some glue down so you can see where we're at. Oh, you know what? When I was popping them out, they were sticking to this little pointer, but of course now that I want to use it, they're like, no, 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 we'll just stay right here. There we go. Okay, and I'll just keep doing that, putting little dots and adding my little ornaments, and I'll be right back. That's actually 11, and then I'm looking, I'm like, well, maybe the 12th one can go here. Let's use them all. So cute, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna let this set up for a little bit longer. But look at that, love it. I'll be right back. So we have our little tree. It still probably isn't dry yet because the craft glues take quite a bit of time to dry. But look at the card base. I love that. And look at this. So cute. So to stick this on here, you know, you can put like one little pop dot or something like that just so that it's easy to remove. What I'm gonna do is probably put 2 dimensional adhesives dots, and then I need my little sentiment down here, so hopefully, and I'm purely eyeballing this because that is still wet. I don't want to mess with it too much, so I'm just going to put this like here and like here and I think that'll hold it. you know, that'll hold it long enough for your recipient to get it and then be able to take it off very easily, right? So they can put it on their tree or use it however. And it looks cute anyway. If you just want to put it on there flat without the little holder, then it would just be a decoration on your card, right? I think that's really sweet. I'm going to push that down when it's more dry. And then I have this set. This is actually from one of the new sets coming out, the Be Merry. This is the Holiday Gnomes stamp set. Look how cute these little guys are. Oh my goodness. But I love the Merry Christmas on here. I like the look of it and everything. So I'm going to stamp that. Probably just with black ink on white paper. And I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, what an adorable stamp. It looks like kind of like wood, kind of fun. Just, oh, I love the look of it. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out very simply and then mat it with some red paper. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'll bring my little card back and I'm just going to glue that right down here. Nice and flat because the tension's on our little felt tree and stuff. So that's it for today guys. A little mixed media, a little fun, getting a little messy and working with some felt and things. I think it's really sweet, very old school look. Again, if you just want to stick that down or even pop it up but without the thing, you know, without the little holder, then it would just be a really sweet card. But now your recipient has a little ornament they can use, so really sweet. Thank you so much Spellbinders for sending these items for review. Keep an eye out, they brought out so many cute things. Definitely check it out. I'll have the links for you guys there, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.